the story started back in 2009 when a group of racers and 4x4 enthusiasts decided to take desert racing or rally in Egypt to a higher and more professional level. This group established a school of rally to introduce the rally sport to new racers and to share all the safety and technical information about rally racing. Since then, rallies nationally and internationally had many rally school graduates on the podium. In addition, many of the rally organization volunteers are rally school graduates. And to know more about racing and racing activities here in Egypt, we are honored to host Mr. Mohamed Askar, the Vice President of a top sports and rally
sports club
here
in Egypt, in downtown Mohamed.
Yes.
A very good day, Mr. Mohamed.
Thank you very much. Very good day to you too. Thank you.
Sir, at the beginning of today's interview, I'd like to ask you to tell us how and when this rally sport racing started and how it was introduced here in Egypt.
Well, as a matter of fact, the club was founded in 1905. This is a very long time ago. And motorsports, and the club is a member of the FIA, which is the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, which actually governs all activities of sports all over the world. Interesting to know that in 1947 there was a race organized in Egypt, and it was honored by the presence of King Farouk, late King Farouk, and afterwards started several races as well. And
allow us to stop here, Mr. Askar. And what about the period between 1905 and 1947? I'm sure this is a long period. So what happened during that?
Actually, in 1914 there was the First World War, and all industries geared towards
the war.
So there was no car industry. Therefore, it affected all automobile clubs
around the world. That's
around
global,
the world.
yeah.
Yes, not only in Egypt. Yes, and in 1924 we re-established the club. Therefore, we celebrate our jubilee in 2024.
Okay, that will be the centenary.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. And what about the period of World War II? What happened then? I mean, before and after World War II?
It was, of course, all activities were dormant, but it did not affect the clubs, except for they have to observe the regulations of the war.
So immediately after WW2, I mean, in 47, we organized this international race.
Exactly.
Okay, sir, what do you have to tell us more about the regulations of this sport, sir?
Well, the regulations of this sport actually will be more proper and more clear if you're going to host as well our head of the motorsports committee. And then you can hear
ask him more.
Yes.
He'll give us more information then.
What about, in your view, Mr. Askar, the potential
destinations?
Yeah, for holding big international competitions here in Egypt and seeing the top names in the sport come here to Egypt?
In order to host such big scale sports activities, you must have a track. And there are different tracks. Actually, there are some efforts now in order to make a Formula One track in Egypt. We are working on this along with the authorities, and perhaps maybe in 2 to 3 years to come, you will see a Formula One track in Egypt, and we can host lots of races.
Good to hear.
Sir, what are the international racing events that are taking place in Egypt soon, that took place in Egypt, you're foreseeing to take place in Egypt?
In addition to the racing, there are rallies as well. And Egypt hosted lots of rallies, and there was a very well-known rally.
The
which-
Pharaohs.
The
the
Pharaohs
yeah.
rally, you see. And it stopped during, unfortunately, after 2011.
Yeah, after the revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are also working hard on returning the rally to Egypt. And this is very interesting.
So, which governmental organization are you working with to bring back this rally here in Egypt, or to
No,
start
actually,
working on
we're
it again in
trying to
Egypt?
number one, there is the issue of security. So once security is covered, and this is, of course, the authority gives the lead to this, then we can carry on attracting the organizers to come to Egypt and activate the races.
But sir, I think that as we are going on, Egypt is every day reasserting and asserting that security and stability in Egypt is becoming better, and President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, of course, is working very hard on the security in Egypt. So it makes this easier and facilitates the
Definitely,
idea
yes, definitely, yes.
that it's easy to make a rally in Egypt, because Egypt, compared to other countries all around the world, is doing very well in light of
Yes.
the corona pandemic, of
Absolutely.
course.
But in addition to security, which is now has improved tremendously.
Of course.
Yes, we're talking about the what the world is suffering from, which is COVID-19,
Exactly.
which is affecting traveling and everything.
And of course, we can understand that car races, Rana and Mr. Askar, I guess, they cover a vast area. They cover, I mean, so the demands for, you know, for protecting or safeguarding such events, I guess, would be bigger than, for instance, a handball World Cup like we hosted in Egypt successfully recently. Yeah.
It's a huge
Yeah.
industry, and for your information, we're talking about an industry, the motorsports industry in the world. About 45 million people working in this industry. It's contributing tremendously in the world economy.
That's a huge number. I mean,
Yes.
that's the size or the population of a big country.
Exactly,
I mean, 45
yeah.
million.
So it's a huge,
So-
it's a huge industry. Yes.
I'm sure you would be working with the Interior Ministry, with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, with
Absolutely.
the Ministry of Tourism as well. And I
Absolutely.
want to ask about tourism specifically. How do you see that organizing, like getting back the Pharaohs rally or organizing Formula One races here in Egypt would serve the cause of tourism in Egypt?
Absolutely, and I would not disclose a secret. There are some negotiations.
Why don't you want to disclose the secret?
No, because
Oh, please disclose it for
yes, it's underway. It's underway.
Let
It's
us be an
premature.
exclusive
It's
chat.
premature to talk about it,
Okay.
but we are trying hard to.
Maybe you're not yet sure of the concept or of what's going to be happening.
Not really, but it takes time.
Oh.
So this is why I'm saying it's.
People are eager anyway because
We are eager as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I see that there is a lot of interest from the part of the youth in the car industry in general, not just the races or
Yes,
the rallies
yes.
or Formula One. The car industry itself, I mean, it's something very attractive to a lot of youth. So how can you capitalize on that?
We are doing our best. We're actually arranging for some sort of training programs and regarding safety and regarding scrutinizing and monitoring. And this you'll know more when you talk to my colleague.
Okay,
Sure.
sir, engineering students at Egyptian universities won several awards in international competitions in manufacturing race cars. How far would this boost this sport, sir?
It's very difficult to answer. Racing cars are very, very advanced. So, and very, very confidential. It's
I'm sure that the safety, Yeah, I mean, it's something very advanced, and it's very important to ensure the safety. So the races have been spread lately in Egypt, and for years now. What is your advice to the youth participating in such races, especially when it comes to the safety of the cars, the safety of the people around them, the safety of the driver, him or herself?
The FIA has got standards and regulations that they have to follow in order to maintain and to observe the needed safety measures they have to apply. And with the direct contact between the racers and the automobile club, they are quite aware of that.
Okay, so what from your own perspective is needed to promote this kind of sport here in Egypt?
Eagerness from the side of youth.
Yes, this is what I was just going to ask you again. Youth are very important, and of course today President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's the inauguration of the International Youth Forum in Sharm el-Sheikh. It's the 4th edition, which is worth to mention. It's a very important, of course, gathering. The President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi worked very hard on every year making this international forum. So
and I'm sure youth, sorry Rana, but I'm sure youth will be discussing cars.
Exactly. So this is what I want to point. In the forum, youths are going to be discussing every single issue that they would
but
like, or they would.
It's a very costly hobby as well.
It's
Yeah,
costly.
it is.
It's costly. Whereas youths nowadays are very enthusiastic. They have the enthusiasm and they have the passion to do what they want to do here in Egypt. And President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is also working on helping youth so much and working on the very special ones, on the very ones that are keen and the brainstorming and different calibers that are available nowadays.
Absolutely.
In this field. So whether it's costly or not, if he is, like we used to see him at the beginning of his presidency, when he used to ride the bicycle and go all around Sharm el-Sheikh or go around all of Cairo.
Yes, definitely.
So
with this kind of support from the head of the state, lots of youth will come over and try, yes.
So this is going to enhance the idea of car racing in Egypt.
Yes.
And hopefully that's going to be brought up in the forum that's going to be taking place, which is one of the most important forums.
I don't know
that
whether
take place
it is on the agenda or not.
I don't know.
Even
We
if
all
it's not
don't
on
know.
the agenda, the youth will be talking about it.
The youth will be,
Yeah.
yes. Because
Anyway,
there are
because-
workshops anyway that take place within the youth forum. They're going to be talking about everything. They're going to be.
President Sisi will take side of the youth as well as he takes side of the women, as well as he takes side of all.
Speaking of women, do we have female racers here, or is it just
Yes,
male racers?
yes,
We
yes.
have female racers.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, but in such competitions, we don't divide, right? It's a race for all. It's not
yes,
like
yes.
a gold
No,
for yeah.
No, it's not like football, for instance.
Yeah. So everybody's racing against
Exactly,
the other.
yes, exactly.
So after all of these years, Mr. Askar, you know, with the car industry being at the heart of your life, if I may say, what is your dream for that industry here in Egypt, for races in Egypt, for rallies, Formula One potentially coming here? What is your dream?
My dream is for Egypt is to become the hub of such a sport in the region, in the Middle East region. There are some other countries that have tracks we don't have, but I hope eventually we'll have one. And again,
You're working on that.
We are working on that.
Good luck. All right. That was Mr. Mohamed Askar, the Vice President of a top car and rally sport here in in Egypt. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for hosting
Sir,
us.
thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
this wonderful interview and for your informative knowledge. Thank you for joining us here on Nile Cruise. It's a pleasure, sir, and
Pleasure
thank you
is
very
mine.
much.
Thank you very
Dear
much.
viewers, this was this segment of Nile Cruise. Stay with us. We're coming back again. Don't go away. Me and Mohamed Abdurrahim.